This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Okay, now, what to do? No, I really been busy for the last 2 weeks with a lot of shit in my life. But, but, there have been so much rumblings around the world in terms of not just, World War III and all these different things, but of course, in my realm, wrestling. Well, one of my realms. But we can stick to wrestling for today. And, you know, today's topic is my boy, Centimeter Punk. Yeah. So for y'all to understand the situation, well, a lot of y'all already know, but for us to just, start off this topic and understand the situation and why I'm so disappointed in CM Punk, even though I should have been disappointed in him years ago, we gotta go back to June 27th, 2011. Why? Well, that was on Monday night, and John Cena was laid out in the ring in the heap of a broken table when Phil Brooks came out the stage and cut what we now know as the pipe bomb, which broke the internet. Now, at the time, I wasn't watching wrestling as much as I used to. I couldn't even watch Raw at the time because of school. But I heard about this shit like a week or so after. I was like, yo, I gotta hear about this. And I'm like, yo, this is CM Punk. I remember CM Punk, CM Punk was made by CM Punk was the long hair, straight edge, you don't do drugs. Let's go to sleep, one of the hardest moves in my opinion. At that time. And yeah, even though he sent and excommunicated my favorite wrestler at the time, Jeff Hardy from WWE, he was at that time a 2-time World Heavyweight Champion. Or was it 3-time? I can't really remember, but he's a former World Heavyweight Champion. Now getting the opportunity to face the big boys in the big leagues with John Cena and them. I was like, yeah, boy, this is it. So fast forward 3 years after, yada yada yada, Samoa Punk, he's longest reigning modern WWE champion, 2-time WWE champion, or 3-time. Again, I can't really remember. He's a multiple-time WWE champion. 2014, he gets married to AJ Lee. Great. That's beautiful for him and everything. Why do I mention this? Oh, he got fired that day, you say? Yeah, that's tough.
That's rough, buddy.
Punk then went on for about let me see, that's about 8 years. Yeah, Punk went on for about 8 years outside of WWE, outside of wrestling in general, and he just went on a killing spree in terms of killing people's credibility, people's reputation, and just the goodwill that they built up amongst the fan bases. Punk went on different podcasts just talking shit about WWE, about Triple H, about Vince, Stephanie. He was cool with Shane, but he talked shit about Cena, Miz, a whole bunch of people Punk was shitting on. And I couldn't really blame him. A lot of people didn't like it, but I couldn't really blame him. And the fans, the other set of fans, them who a lot of people like to call smart fans, they were on his side. But in my opinion at that time, the consensus was everybody just taking Punk's side and was lambasting WWE because, again, y'all fired this man on the wedding day. And I know it's always said, oh, it was a miscommunication, it was mishandled in the mail, and it just happened to end up on his doorstep on his wedding day. I don't believe this shit, bro. Y'all are a multi-billion-dollar corporation turned LLC now. Y'all, if y'all wanted to send a message to that man, you would have, and you certainly did. So I didn't really have a problem with Punk going on the offensive or the defensive in this case and just tearing into WWE and wrestling in general. But I always wonder, if Punk came back to WWE or wrestling, what would it look like? Would he ever? And I was like, nah, he ain't coming back. He ain't coming back after all he went through. Oh, will you look at this man should come back. And yeah, at the time I was happy to see Punk just like everybody else, because it's CM Punk. Me see Punk in almost 10 years, wrestling wise. What was he about to do in AEW? I mean, they fast-tracked him to be the AEW World Champion and yada yada yada. But this was one of the first signs, or at least one of the first signs in many, many moons, to show us that CM Punk is one of the biggest hypocrites of all time. Number one, he came back to wrestling after he said he wasn't going to do it. Well, actually, he never said he was coming back to wrestling. He said he was never coming back to WWE. Get your facts right. Who the hell are you? And number two, he said he wasn't coming back to wrestling. Go back and check your old interviews. That's what he said. He said he was done with wrestling. Actually, well, you see, right? What he meant was he was using wrestling as a metaphor for WWE, because at the time WWE was the only wrestling in the where was he gonna go? Cause you know he loved wrestling. He can't go nowhere else in North America. So when AEW came around, he had to go to AEW. Right? Where else you want to go? TNA? What y'all really got against TNA? What y'all really got against TNA? And also, if he really loved wrestling, he would have gone to any one of them independent promotions, TNA, ROH. It don't really matter. He would have gone to them, which just goes to show he never really cared about wrestling, or his love for wrestling died years ago. And this is all about the money. And at the end of the day, you know, ain't nothing wrong with that. But the problem I have with that, and the problem many people have with that, is that he pretends like that's not the case. Come on, bro. Like Scott Steiner said, if you're in it for the money, it's just a mark. And if you could lie to people about it, you're just one of the worst sets of marks ever. Anyway, putting all this aside, he in AEW now. Alright, so, you know, he's always complaining that, oh, all the stars like Rock and these different banners, them comfortable spot. Like, well, you know, he is now at that age, so he's gonna foster all the young talent. Like, oh, you see Sting is doing it right now. Why doesn't he do well, never mind, he's world champion. I mean, I understand why he's world champion. He's CM Punk in a startup promotion, but this don't look too good because this goes against what you were standing on. Anyways, that's nothing. Anyway, he's gonna get along with these people because, you know, WWE is so evil, and whoever goes to WWE is a sellout and yada yada yada. So, you know, he working with his type of people here, and okay, all right. So I don't think he's working with AEW anymore. His contract is up here. He's burned his bridges with them again, just like how he burned his bridge with Colt Cabana. You know, at least now he got leverage. You know, he could go other places. Let me say TNA is thriving now. He could go over there. You know, just don't go to. Oh no, he went back to the Fed. All right. He back in the Fed. Vincent anymore. Please don't go shake and make up with Triple. Oh no. Oh, Phil, bro. My goodness. Really and truly, this man. Listen, it's one thing, right? One thing for you to mature, grow past all the differences and so forth, and come back to your old your place of residence and be like, yo, we mend the fences and so forth. But it's a whole different story for you spending an entire decade lambasting them, and not only doing it, not only lambasting them, but you're lambasting them with conviction, swearing, talking all the, like, some of the worst things ever, like you wish Vince McMahon was dead, or you want to see dead, or something like that. I can't remember what exactly you said, but you said all these different things just to run back because the money was sweet and calling you. Listen, you got eat just like all of we, but don't make nobody here jackass CM Punk, please. But putting aside all that, right? You know, being in WWE don't make him inherently evil, and like though. At least we could say when it comes to his outside opinions on politics and these different things, he could stand 10 toes down, right? I mean, you know, it's not like if he could go against the word again. We getting there right money. We getting there right money. You know, it's get real bad. Or it's look real bad when your own fans call out your hypocrisy. Like your own diehard fans call out your hypocrisy. But at this point, bro, you know, we just gotta accept that the people we grew up idolizing or looking up to as being infallible, they're just human beings like we. I mean, I learned the first time when I became an adult that these people is just human beings. You know, a lot of them, they stand on shit, but they don't believe in it. Or they believe in it, and somebody could pass them a check and be like, yeah, you know, I gotta eat too, B. And I understand, but hey, don't come and preach to the mountain or preach to the masses that you stand for this shit while secretly you ain't gonna die for it. Don't behave like you could die for something or die behind something, and then do the exact opposite the first chance you get. Because the last people that do that throughout history, nobody remember them fondly. Right? That's all I got to say for now.
Phil, what are you doing?
Take that piece of shit and get off my stoop.